As a ceramic artist, I am interested in inspiring contemplation and reflection with my work, to arrest my viewers' attention and bring human connectivity. My multi-component breast project sculpture began with the first sculpture as a healing wish for a close relative who was diagnosed with breast cancer. After creating it, I began thinking of the many other women I knew who had fought breast cancer and continued making components in honor of each of them. New cases appeared during my creation process, including an uncle, resulting in 21 sculptures in total by 2018. In my sculpting, I work primarily in porcelain, finding in its fine grog a cooperative material for a broad array of texture treatments. My love of and respect for nature and our planet drives the appearance of themes of nature and science in my work, as well as topics of concern about environmental degradation. A visit exploring geological wonders of Iceland was powerful and inspiring, pushing me to experiment with often time-consuming processes for creating my sculptural responses with clay, including the thousands of handmade pebbles that are part of transformations. My first and still ongoing career as a professional musician led me to begin making multi-component interactive sculptures some years ago. These works often have innumerable permutations for arrangement that allow for multiple interpretations of the work, such as one would experience in musical performances. Such is the case with Intrusions, a sculpture inspired by immense basalt columns jutting through and above the Earth's crust at multiple locations around Iceland. My body of work also includes single standalone sculptures as well as wall sculptures such as Dear Hole, Morning, Evening, inspired by a breathtaking ocean-sculpted jetty on the south coast of Iceland that evidences the strength of the sea. In most of my work, there is considerable engineering and strategizing involved to realize my concepts. Porcelain is a challenging clay body due to its lack of grog and high shrinkage rate, and clay itself is as well, with its multiple firings, chemistry, and other variabilities. Being pushed to stretch my boundaries from conception through realization is endlessly beneficial to my personal and artistic growth. Another source of interest is sociological topics. Construction Project was inspired by disparate sets of archaeological ruins I happened upon in Sicily. I combined those findings into one interactive sculpture and offer viewers the opportunity to investigate the relatability of components or not. People's processes and creative impulses are shaped not only by the tools they are given, but also by assumed guidelines or rules stemming from our individual backgrounds and personal cultures. These interactions make this a living artwork. After spending time rearranging parts, the viewer is given questions to contemplate about their process, then invited to play again. As a teacher, I have always taught Socratically, believing that people own their growth most authentically and deeply when they are prompted and encouraged to seek and find answers. I love when one of my sculptures evokes many different things for many different viewers, and I encourage my viewers to answer their own questions like, "What is it?" and "What is that for?" The interactive sculpture I named Half-Lives is very successful with regard to this goal, garnering dozens of ideas about what it says and evokes. From Away is another interactive sculpture that springs from a sociological question. In this case, what does it take to be embraced as belonging in a new place? Inspired by glacial erratics that have been transported from afar and been present for centuries along the Maine coast, the question is, if they aren't yet believed to be endemic to their environment, what implications does that hold for human migration? Exotic beauty found in nature is irresistible to me. Intriguing curled leaves I found in neighboring wetlands one spring were architecturally compelling and aesthetically inspiring. After I had begun creating a trio of sculptures, predicting the developmental stages of what was an anonymous exotic to me, I learned that I had happened upon skunk cabbage flowers. Nomads was inspired by mysterious found objects on a beach. They were smooth and had long pointed corners. They were black, hollow, and rattled when shaken. I had no idea what these fragile objects were, but I guessed they were vegetal, probably seed pods. I eventually learned that they were casings for skate eggs. In creating this sculpture, I made the components much larger than the petite originals to honor their sense of mystery, while still trying to capture their sense of delicacy. They are also hollow and rattle when moved. As concern about our planet's health and future brings interest in space exploration back to the forefront of scientific inquiry, investigations of space, planets, and space travel have gained momentum and attention. Inspiration for my planet panels, which is an interactive wall sculpture, comes from the fascinating images sent back to Earth from satellites exploring Mars. Many photos are capturing views of geological mysteries on the planet's surface that inspire my 3D interpretations of those images, made with porcelain paper clay.